So you've been on the streets now how long?
6 months.
And then doing nothing to help you?
Doing nothing.
They're making you sleep outside?
I've got this homeless doctor who's doing absolutely nothing for me.
And he's 64 years old?
65, coming up to 65.
And there is no help?
I've been out in the rain, the cold.
Lovely gentleman.
I've travelled all over this country, and all I'm getting is you've got no connection to me.
And do you know how kind this gentleman is that I met on his streets now in Manchester? That he offered me £20 because I'm homeless and in a mess, in the same boat, to try and help me. How kind is that? Of course I've refused it, but I mean, because he's such a lovely person. But I mean, it's disgusting the way people are not helping us at all. Now you tried to kill yourself a few times.
I've been in hospital.
And what do? They get you in, pump your stomach, is it, and kick you out again?
Yeah, I took an overdose and they got you drinking charcoal and that, and then at 5 o'clock they just let you out to do it again.
And they leave you back on the streets with nowhere to go. Because I've been told to lay down in the middle of Marks by, I think it was CAB, I can't remember who told me that, or this other woman from Shelter or something, and to cause a stir, talk her to nonsense, and they'll section you under the Mental Health Act, and once you're inside, they're going to help you. And you'll get a social worker, and they'll put you in a lovely flat and all this. It's lies, isn't it? They do nothing, do they?
The NHS, I've been to Oxford, Manchester.
And he's been kicked out on the street.
They treat you like a criminal.
Yes.
Instead of trying to help you, go in for help, you get treated like a criminal.
Yes, once you're homeless, you're treated like scum, aren't you?
Yeah. I've been in Manchester, I've been in London, Euston Hospital, it's just the same in there. You just get treated like a criminal. You get no help or nothing.
It's terrible now.
You put me out in that Oxford Road in the pouring rain, 5 in the morning, it's chucking down in rain, you've got to leave it.
Where?
5 o'clock in Oxford Road Hospital in Manchester.
Yeah, and
5 in the morning, it's chucking down in rain, they put me out and says, oh, it's not.
And they kicked him out. So people who's thinking the NHS help, the NHS do not help. There is no help out there. I've tried Shelter, they palm me off to the council. The council are demons. Chester West Council who are dealing with me are absolute demons. So I mean...
Go to a council, I get that everywhere.
Yeah.
I've got that here.
Yeah, they don't care.
You go to a council,
so there is no help out there. There is no help. People think there is help. There isn't, because you're in the same boat and you agree, don't you? There's no help.
There's no help.
You're left.
It's over genuine homeless.
And the only option we have is suicide.
There's thousands in Manchester homeless.
And that's why we're suicidal, because there's no other option. No.
I've seen them in shop doorways 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. And then people are saying they're not homeless, that they're pretending to be to get money for drugs, don't they, or something? Yeah. It's a load of rubbish.
I've been told that the hostels are free. This lad was begging for money,
and
the woman come up to us, all the hospitals are free. But
they're not.
I don't know where that is.
30 quid, isn't it?
27 quid.
There we are, see? It's almost as much as a Premier Inn. It's disgusting.
You got about 6 in the room.
You might as well go in there for another tenner, or one night on the street and one night in a Premier Inn if you can get enough money. I'll have to start begging if this carries on. I can't take any more. I mean, I'm very suicidal, and I mean, how many times have you tried to kill yourself in the past? A few times you've been in, haven't you?
Yeah.
And they kick you out?
Yeah, I've been in hospitals all over. I've been in hospitals up the North East, Leeds, Sheffield.
And because you're homeless, they're treating you terribly. It's wicked.
Was probably the best one I've been in. It was a bit helpful. You know, towards housing, you see the crisis team and they say, oh, we don't deal with housing problems.
Oh yes.
And you're supposed
Shelter tell you that.
You're supposed to be in a crisis.
And then they say Salvation Army, they don't help.
Your crisis is that you're homeless. And
CAB won't help.
They say we don't deal with housing problems, so how can there be a crisis team?
Well, I was told to slap a policeman across the face and get arrested and put in a cell by a woman from CAB. I can't remember if it was CAB or Shelter now, or one of the movements.
That's the only way you get.
They don't help. As if I'm going to do that, and as if they're going to arrest me. They'd probably fine me, ask me for more money instead if I slipped him across the face. I mean, it's terrible what they've done.
What they do, they keep you in all night and let you out in the morning and fine you like 200 quid or something.
Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? And how are you going to pay that when you're on £100 a week, under that, trying to survive for food on the streets? Because Chester West Council demand I live outside forever. They've told me I have to.
Finding people in Birmingham for the homeless for sleeping on the streets. Birmingham is the worst town in this country. The police are horrendous.
They are.
You know, if you're on the streets, they come and move you.
Hard as nails.
Oh, Birmingham's.
No, I've dealt with Birmingham. I was there. We were living there for a bit.
Birmingham's the worst place I've ever been.
It was hard as nails. I know. It is horrible. It's a terrible place too, isn't it? Depressing. Yeah. I like it by the sea, you're quite right. It's better by the sea, isn't it? You like Blackpool?
Brighton's okay, Brighton.
Yeah. But you shouldn't be homeless. I mean, we shouldn't be in this
I was at the
position.
sea, I was at the coast in South Shields.
And this man is not on drugs or alcohol, and he's not come out of prison. He's a decent human being like me. So there are some of us who are not like that, and we're on the streets being ignored by the councils who are corrupt.
Obviously, they all tell you go to the council, and the council is sending you back to. You just get sent around in circles.
Yes, that's exactly where I'm coming from.
You end up in a first place.
You think you're having a breakdown then, don't you? You go in an office, you sit there for hours. I did the other day in Southport because the woman said, oh, they'll help you. I said, but I'm under Chester West, I'm not under Southport. Doesn't matter, they'll help you. Sat there for a whole day in the office. Oh yeah, we can help you, we can help you with all these different numbers they give you. And free phone numbers, I ring them. There's nothing we can do, sorry. Go to the council, go to your local council. They pass you buck, pass the buck, pass the buck, pass the buck, isn't it?
Crisis is say that, go to the council. And the council is sending you back to a crisis centre.
Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah, there is no help out there, believe me. And that's why you've been suicidal, and are, because we can't see another way out, can we? This is torment, isn't it? We need help.
I just don't know where to go.
No, we need something. I mean, it's crazy. I never dreamt I'd be homeless. Tell me this a few years ago, like before this, and I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't have believed you.
I can understand why the homeless go and drinking drugs because it's.
You go insane in the end, I think. Yeah, you lose it.
Like,
I'm having a breakdown. I'm getting very confused with everything. I can't cope anymore. Because they're confusing me.
All I'm doing is walking around. I'm up and down there. I walk down that station.
And where did you manage to sleep last night, or did you?
I sleep in the park now.
He's in the park at night, 64-year-old gentleman. It's not funny.
If it rains, I'll get soaked.
Yeah, you could get hypothermia, and they don't care. And what will happen is, if you do collapse, an ambulance comes, they dump you in. As soon as you're at all okay, you're back on the streets. They dump you back on the streets. They do not supply a social worker. They do not supply any help at all. So whoever's thinking this and lying to me and telling me this, it's all lies, blatant lies.
I've been all over this country. I've been to Wales and Scotland, and it's the same everywhere you go. It's nothing.
There is no help in the UK. They're just leaving everybody on the streets to die, aren't they? It's the truth.
I'm coming up to 65.
He's 65.
I'll be getting my pension soon.
I'm 51.
Trouble is,
and I've got severely diseased arthritic hip ME, and I'm just being left to die on the streets.
These people have never been through it themselves.
No, because their lives are perfect and easy, so they have got no idea. I mean, that GP I'm dealing with is terrible. He told me I was a real-life Bear Grylls or some awful comment. I can't believe it.
I've got the worst GP.
Oh, mine's dreadful. Yeah.
He even stopped me medication I was on for my anxiety. Not stop that.
Why?
He's an absolute idiot. He's a total idiot.
They just don't care, do they?
They haven't got a clue about mental health.
They haven't got a clue about anything. And that's what I meant. What you came out with the other day was, what did you say about when they wonder why you want to die? They wonder why you're suicidal. That is so surprising to me. When you're on the streets, living outside.
What do you keep taking overdoses for? Why are you suicidal? It's a rubbish. It's a bullshit. It's unbelievable. What can happen?
I know. It's just bloody unbelievable. Because their lives are perfect and they're going back to watching TV at night, laying on the bed with curry on and a dinner in the oven and goodness knows. And they're just thinking, oh, why would you be suicidal? Because I'm not. Yeah. No, because you've got a home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're living outside. We can't. We're not animals. We're not foxes.
Why are you taking overdoses?
We're people. People should be inside at night.
What are you taking overdose for? Why do you want to kill yourself?
Laying on beds, watching telly, eating. Not just scavenging around on the streets.
I've been in that park and it's chucked it down and I've ended up to go to hospital.
You hypothermia, especially if the weather's cold, you know. And I've got chronic asthma. They don't care. They just don't care. I mean, there I was years ago, and my father wouldn't let me stand outside the car for too long or something. He'd say, oh, it's too cold for you to go out because you've got asthma. You stay in. It's too cold. And that's just walking from the house to the car. And now I'm out on the streets, left on the streets, because the corrupt Chester West Council, who are corrupt, evil, they're terrible. The housing options team there, which are demons, have left me on the streets to die. because they refuse to help me and say I'm off their books, and they refuse to do anything. And this gentleman's suffering just as bad, and so it shows there's another person in my boat. I'm not the only one.
You've got no connection to the area.
No, I know. And I'm not the only one, as they say.
I've
No.
not even connection to my hometown, Derby. I went to school.
Oh, that's right. They have that.
All
Oh,
my
yeah.
family come from there.
Yeah.
I'm not even connected to that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've got no connection to anywhere then, have I?
I'm not connected to anywhere.
Because I'm with no family on my own in the world. I've got connection to anywhere. So what are they going to do? Put me on the moon?
I'm not connected to this planet, according to...
No, according to those bastards. It's terrible now. Yeah, and he's got a wonderful sense of humour. What a lovely person he is. Look at him. I mean, we're decent people and we're suffering like crazy, and no one's doing a bloody thing to help us. And we're going to lose our lives because no one helped us. It's not fair. Please, somebody do something. Watch this video. Spread it around. Do something. Help us. Please. Please don't let us die. Please do something. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.